Greetings, class. Mr. Spo here. And tonight we're going to be talking about Chapter 8, the application project, which is on page 351. A couple things are actually one issue we're going to tackle in this. If you're actually going through the steps 1 through 12, I noticed there's a bug in the actual steps. So I'll go ahead and if you actually want to follow through with those steps, I'll go ahead and show you how to fix that. Um, I'm going to jump right to the steps where this is step 7, where you have to start putting the chart onto the page. I think you all know how to apply a template and how to apply a background and all that other fun stuff and toying with the titles and everything and formatting by now. And if you don't, maybe watch the tutorial I posted last night. In any case, let's get going with adding a chart to this PowerPoint slide. Now, I'll say straight away, PowerPoint is, it's a function. At best, it's a functional tool for showing a chart. But if you're really going to do charts that have a whole lot of power, you're going to want to look into Excel and use Excel as your chart generator, and you'll soon see why. So in this exercise, they want you to put a line graph for this data and type out all that fun stuff there. And it looks like I already have a document open, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. Let me get that closed real quick. And there. So I close that other document, and I'll go ahead and insert this chart here. And they want you to insert a line chart, so I'm going to choose line chart by clicking on that button, and voila. They start you out with some sample data, and in this chart you're going to add some months and some categories. So the categories are down there. You can see category 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are going to be where you put your months. In the series area, you're going to want to identify which browsers those are. So, for example, Internet Explorer. Well, last time I checked, that's spelled with a L. Explorer. And so on. So I'm not going to bore you to death by, continuing to type those out. You see it appears down here at the bottom. And then as you would type Firefox would be next, Firefox would show up, and then just keep tabbing through each of these cells, and it will add new lines onto your chart and new colors. So we're good with that. Now, one thing that I did notice when I was typing out the months, so we're going to go March 2013 and see how the data has changed. March 2013, June 2013, okay, September 2013. Enter. Oh, and now it's working. So hopefully you get the same effect. What was happening with me earlier is I may have mistyped the data and actually switched the content so that it was showing up as maybe this is what I did. If 1, 3, no, and I can't replicate the bug. How embarrassing this is to have it on video. Now, let us, in the case that I was going to show you this, I'm going to show you how if you do find data that you can't edit, you need to actually edit inside of Excel. So there's a little button up here at the top where that will allow you to open up Excel, select your data, and then you're going to right click and choose Format Cells. And in this case, you have a date range. You see it's month, month, month. So that's going to be the first three letters of a spelled up month and then a 2-digit year. Um, and then you can change that data to look any way that you want here. And then I'm going to click cancel because I think I'm okay with this so far. And we'll move on. So rather than having you watch me type, or rather than watching me type out all of that data, you do wind up with a chart that does not look like this. It looks like a bunch of flat lines, which I have two problems with that. Number one, you generally wouldn't present a line chart with little to no deviation in each of the lines because there's real no reason to read that data. Whereas if you look at the data within the table, we're looking at percentage of use across different browser types. And in this case, it would be much more suitable to present that data as a pie chart. Because as I mentioned before, all you get out of the data they have you input is 5 flat lines. Whoopee. Whereas what you could do is actually create this content in a pie chart showing very clearly that Internet Explorer is, the browser king with over 50% of the pie occupied. Our next best browser with a close follow-up behind it would be Chrome, Safari, because, who wants to use Mac computers? Way there in the purple with almost just slightly bigger than Opera, which, who even uses Opera nowadays? So that's what I would do in regards with actually presenting this data. Now the other thing, once you get the data into a chart, and then you're like, ooh, shoot, I made a mistake and I want to re-edit this data. So now what do I do? Well, you can double click this chart and it'll bring you to the design tab, and then you can make sure that up here your chart tools is selected, and then you can choose this button right here or click this button right here. There's even a button where you can go directly to Excel and edit that data, and or if you just press the button, it brings you back to the content, and you'll see here I don't have a lot of window space to work with, but when you manipulate this data, or as you're adding in these numbers, your vertical column here is your categories, and then obviously your percentages, which outline the pie chart, and then you add your title to the chart itself. So now, one thing that occurred or happened to me when I first designed this chart was that these little boxes were kind of stacked on top of each other, and you don't want that. So you should get into your pie chart and move your data around. Sometimes, you might want to have it be like that, just making sure that people know what percentage is applying to which data. Now, if they've never seen a pie chart before, they might not know, but in this case, it's pretty obvious that the 2% is bigger than 1%, so the green is 1% and the blue is 2%. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And that is the big takeaway tonight. When two takeaways from this. Number one, if you have content or data inside of PowerPoint, you can edit that data into Explorer, or not Explorer, but rather Excel. And from that point on, sometimes Excel actually has much more powerful pie chart tools and display tools and all of that for your charts. So sometimes it's just easier to go ahead and create all your data inside of the Excel tool, take a screenshot of the resulting pie chart, and then paste that or place that screenshot onto your screen inside of PowerPoint. And now I could wholeheartedly say you're ready to go start working for USA News and with all their fun little pie charts and everything, or USA Today. So take care. Hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll hopefully be seeing you guys watching my videos on YouTube soon. Bye now.